All right. Back at it again with more Honest Hearts. And when I left off, I was trying to find Joshua Graham so I could barter with him, but not here right now. What I'm gonna try doing is just wait for him to come back. She limping? Yeah, she is. Okay. Maybe I should give her something.
Much improved.
Okay. There he is. Okay. So he does come here sometimes. And yeah, that's the kind of thing that I would expect to see him doing.
Welcome back. What can I do for you? Yes, take a look.
He doesn't have a whole lot of caps on him. So he does carry grenades. That's good. Let's take that dynamite off of him. C4 is not necessary. No. That's not in the hand. I may pay that much just to get it. Because these things do quite a lot of damage. More cherry bombs and more lunch boxes. No explosive ammo. It's a fair trade-off though, because he does sell explosive weapons, grenades, a lot of cocktails, mines. It works. So it's not like a player that's doing an explosive build like I am is completely screwed. Let's see. I'll keep that. I'm not keeping that though. Weird. Might as well sell this because I need some other ingredients in order to make grilled mantis legs. Isn't that the same amount that he started out with? Yeah, it's good enough.
God be with you.
Alright, and I said I was going to check to make sure that is indeed all the side quests, non-marked quests left to do. And honest hearts. Okay, I did that. Actually, that's on. For sorrows. Grand Staircase, I've done that. Advanced Scouts, that's who. Treacherous Road. For monsters. Gonna click through them all anyways, just to be sure. Main quest. Yep. Main quest. Yep. And that as well. And Gathering Storms. Right, so basically Gathering Storms is the part of this add-on where I get to decide between fighting the White Legs off of Zion or escorting the Sorrows out of Zion. Regardless of which option though, the player still has to fight the White Legs. Check. Right, a family affair. I knew I had to talk to Waking Cloud again about something. Glad I checked. Let me make sure. Okay. Gotta make sure I'm looking at OBS.
Katubiu. I do. A fine husband and 3 children. I miss them each day, but I take comfort in knowing they are safe. When we learned that Salt Upon Wounds had defiled Zion with his presence, Daniel ordered the children, the old, and the sick evacuated from the camp. My husband volunteered to lead the hunters that went with them for protection. I try not to worry about them. But we have had no news for so long, and Daniel seems sad when I ask him about it. Sad and a little frightened. Perhaps he will. I sometimes feel he thinks he must protect me. If he has news, I would know of it. Then I will look forward to our next speaking.
Also, I apologize for not having the music on. We just fix that. Alright, let's go track down Daniel-san. Daniel-san! And there he is.
I'm glad to see you're still with us. How can I help you? What do you want to know exactly? I'm sure she could tell you much better than I. Oh, well, that's true. Waking Cloud is a talented midwife. She certainly brought more children into the world than I have. But there are some problems she's never dealt with. One of them came up when she was having her third child, and I really didn't do much. I'm surprised she mentioned it. What, I did. Her 3 children are safe. They made it north weeks ago and met up with New Canaanites heading east. Her husband didn't make it. He died protecting their children from a white-leg attack. Do not tell Waking Cloud. She is one of the only Sorrows who can communicate easily with us, and her tribe needs her to be strong right now. To everything, there is a season. Who are you or I to put this heavy burden on her now?
I mean, she was asking how they were doing, so it's not like she's not asking for it. She's literally asking for it. For this information. Regardless of whether or not it's good or bad. Of course, though, she's hoping that they're fine, but obviously they're not, from what he's telling me.
I know, you're right. I shouldn't have hidden it from her in the first place. We can't fail here again. Zion can't become the next New Canaan. The Sorrows don't deserve that. They don't deserve any of this. Sometimes I look at them and wonder if they would have been better off if those old trails had stayed forgotten. If we had never found any of them. Tell Waking Cloud if you think that's best. I won't stop.
Ow.
If you could part with it, healing powder would be welcome. We have enough stim packs for now, but we can't rely on that small supply. Brock and Xander plants can be found throughout the valley, and you might even find some on Whitelegs you come across. Ah, that's great news. We can use anything you can offer.
Take all I have. Yeah, well, I mean, I have way too many healing items right now, and on top of that, especially stim packs, it's really unnecessary for me to be hoarding all these healing powders.
Your generosity is... well, I just can't thank you enough. There's an old saying that goes, if you want peace, get ready for war. You've got me figured half right. I'll shoot dead any white leg that tries to creep into this camp. but it's only to protect the Sorrows. The Lord helps those who help themselves. But the Sorrows don't know how. Joshua and I do. Since I got them into this mess, I need to get them out. There is an important difference between killing in defense and waging war. Even a Gentile like you should know that.
Yeah, that's the thing, and that's what I talked about before. Two different approaches to the same problem, especially coming from the same source of well, let's just call it scriptures, and let's leave it at that.
Joshua is a living Bible of all mankind's miseries of war. The debt he has levied through his actions, he repays every day. He is a monument both to God's unending forgiveness and to humanity's unfathomable capacity for cruelty.
That is true.
It's written on every inch of his body. When you look at him, do you only see a man of God? Beneath those bandages, he is burned flesh. As he burns, so does he consume everyone around him. Joshua wants to fight because the Whitelegs have stoked the naked flame inside of him. You see the light, but do not yet feel the heat. I can pray that you never will. But it isn't up to me, and it isn't up to God. It's up to Joshua.
That is true. What's funny though is that, and this is something I still don't understand, when Edward, as he was called back then, was ordering Joshua Graham and treating him less and less as a friend and a partner, and instead more of a pawn in his schemes. Joshua didn't really, as far as I know, question it. He just went along with it. He himself never even said that he objected to what he's now known as Caesar's tactics or motivations behind the Legion's expansion. No, Joshua just did as he was told and did it very well. And unfortunately, he murdered a lot of people. And it's gonna make you wonder, why would a dude, right, who fully devotes himself to the teachings of Jesus, right, who preached and taught people to be, I wouldn't say pacifists, but more so peaceful, to make peace even with their enemies. Why would Joshua, who knows those teachings, still commit the atrocities he did? And I think Daniel is pointing that out. Maybe it's because he likes fighting. Not necessarily murdering like a serial killer, but more so he just likes fighting. He likes war. And it doesn't help either that he was one of the best at it. So, anyways, just kind of makes me question Joshua Graham's character. But that makes him a little more interesting. He's now one note. He's not just a flat, static character that's easy to understand. Anyways.
Until then.
Katubiu. What? No. You must be mistaken. Daniel would have told me.
Oh, Daniel's literally right on your right, so if you want to talk to him about it, he's right there.
How dare he? What gives him the right? I thought Daniel was my friend, but he cares nothing for the Sorrows.
I mean, he does.
Perhaps. I will have to have a very long talk with Daniel when all of this is over. Thank you for telling me this truth.
I do like the fact that not even Daniel is perfect. Even he makes mistakes and does questionable things, not necessarily bad or immoral, and definitely not intentionally. Alright, a family affair. Just completed that. I did Big Corners of the Eastern Virgin yesterday. Civilized Man's Burn, did that one too. Prisoners of War. Let's check this out. Flight from Zion. Oh, right. Yeah, so some of these are not going to appear until I make my choice of either escorting Sorrows out of Zion, or help fight the White Legs off of it. And if I remember correctly, when I was doing the former, and I did write a passage as well. Escorting the Sorrows out of Zion actually gives the player more XP because there are more side quests involved with that. Yeah. Yeah, quite literally, you get more XP from escorting the Sorrows out of Zion. The thing is, though, that may be to compensate for the lack of combat involved. Because, of course, when joining Joshua Graham and fighting the White Legs, surely there should be many enemies, enough enemies to give just as much XP. But we'll see. The thing is, though, who do I help? Daniel or Joshua Graham? Because I've done both. It's more of a matter of who do I think is correct in their approach to helping the Sorrows. Honestly, as much as I would like to keep the Sorrows as innocent as possible, like, this is a wasteland, dude. It doesn't get any more harsher than that. War and combat's going to be inevitable with other tribals and even other people, other societies in general. So I think I gotta side with Joshua Graham on this. Like, ideally, it would be great if the Sorrows just kept to themselves and such. So much so that, you know, they could just find a new place to live and not have to worry about warring with other tribes. But at the same time, though, if the White Legs aren't stopped, and the Sorrows don't ever learn how to defend themselves as well as their territory, no matter where they go, they're always going to need help trying to defend what they've got. Their new homes will be just as much at risk as their current one in Zion. Again, practically, it makes sense to just help defend Zion and allow the Sorrows to just keep it for themselves. Check this out. Now, ain't that something? I like that. Move out of the way, Waking Cloud. Move it. You're in the way. You're ruining the shot. Anyways. I gotta make my decision now, because I don't have all day, or all night for that matter, to debate on this. So I think I will help defend Zion.
I'm glad to see you're still with us. How can I help you? I appreciate it. Well, that's it. This is all we need. Now all that's left is to quietly pack up and try to get out of here without being noticed. That's assuming that Joshua won't try to stop me. And that he hasn't talked you into fighting the Whitelegs despite what I've said. Don't worry, I don't hold it against you. You're an outsider. Fighting seems like the practical solution.
Yeah, he even admits it.
I'll tell you again. There's more at stake.
No going back. Got that right. I've already finished everything else, so we're good. Yeah. I do think Joshua's right, story-wise. But if I wanted to be as selfish as possible and try to rack up as much XP for myself, then I would help the Sorrows leave Zion, just so I can complete those 3 extra side quests.
No, why? Why? Haven't you seen enough of what's going on here to see that the Sorrows don't need to butcher the Whitelegs for a piece of land? What Joshua wants is more than an attack. He wants a slaughter. He needs more than you and the dead horses to do it. The Sorrows can't be pushed into this. You and Joshua don't have the right to force them into it. Please, consider what I'm saying.
Yeah, no kidding. Yep, that's especially true. I know the old saying in this franchise says war never changes, but to be fair, war is inevitable. Literally, even after the bombs fell and the wasteland came into existence, even then, when societies were rebuilt and civilization reformed, war continues on. And this game especially is all about that, with the war between the NCR and the Legion. Literally, even after the biggest war that ever happened, war still continues on. So I think I'm with Joshua Graham the more I think about it. Again, Daniel is more of an idealist, And while I don't think it's impossible for the Sorrows to stay innocent enough to not learn about how to wage war and destroy an entire people in order to keep what they've got or even to get what they want. Nevertheless, though, yeah, it's just not practical whatsoever.
I've already explained to them that we're leaving. They've accepted it. What is Joshua going to tell them about being a warrior? What are you going to tell them about how to live with themselves after they got lost in the moment, killed someone who didn't deserve to die? Or does that not matter? Is that just an acceptable consequence if it means holding on to this valley? Maybe there is no place left in this world for mercy. But even if it tramples me into the dust, I will never accept it. And I will never condone it. Joshua must be waiting for you. I'll stay here with the others as I told them I would.
If there's enough time left in the stream, I may just go back and... Well, that's the thing. I didn't say it before then.
Thank you for this. I know Daniel doesn't approve, but destroying the Whitelegs is...
Let me see. Let me make a separate save. That was not very smart of me. I knew, in the back of my mind, I knew I should have did that before talking to him about it, but I was so sure. I was so sure that I was making my own decision that you know, I thought I wouldn't want to go back, but now that he's already explained where he's coming from, maybe I'm not so sure.
You're still with us. Until then.
Let me make sure that I already completed that quest. Yeah, I did. Okay.
I'm glad to see you're still with us. I appreciate it. Well, don't worry.
Okay. Let's see which option gives me the more XP.
Thank you for this. I know Daniel doesn't approve, but destroying the Whitelegs is the only way to ensure the Sorrows can remain in Zion. You and I will lead a group of Dead Horse warriors and Sorrows hunters into Three Marys from this position. Our objective is to find the Whitelegs leader, Salt Upon Wounds, and prevent him from fleeing. Show no quarter to the Whitelegs we come across. Make no mistake about why we are here. This is an extermination. God be with you.
The Way of the Canaanite. Alright, let's get to it. Let me just grab, yeah, my best weapons. Alright, 1 second. Hate it when this happens. There we go. Ooh, nice. Oh, never mind, he's not dead. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need Cheese Embrace, Akid. Nice. mean, Daniel did admit that fighting was the practical solution. Of course, it crashes on me, but thankfully I'm almost done completing that add-on, so it's not going to matter all that much. I'm still not going to immediately leave Zion. I'm just going to explore the rest of it. And now start Old World Blues. After completing Honest Hearts. Rita's Cafe, open all night. Oh, sorry. Actually, let me just continue.
You can't stay hidden forever.
Oh my goodness, okay. Surprisingly enough, I expected the game to be doing this a lot earlier and the playthrough of this add-on. I still have no idea why specifically this add-on crashes more than Dead Money and Old World Blues. I just don't get it. What's even worse is that if I quick save while it crashes, the quick save will become corrupted and I would have to go all the way back. Do I have Medic's Psycho working? Yes, I do. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. It goes southwest. You kidding me? I got sniped. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go into the water. Okay. Into the river and then just cross it through that way. Dude, it's like the add-on doesn't even want me to finish it.
This is taking too long. We can't let Salt Upon Wounds escape. I'm going to find a way around. God willing, we will finish this together.
Okay. He is determined. Oh, I like the tomahawk. The tomahawks are just lead pipes with a few attachments. Let me go ahead and down that whiskey. Oh, I see. I see. So annoying when they block. I'll level up. Oh, I just realized I didn't get any science skilled books. Okay, I'll keep this low then. Let's see, 12, that's going to be 88. Let's keep it there. Implant GRX? Yes. Gonna go ahead and get this now. Activating the pinpoint inventory. And unfortunately, yeah, there's no way to quit. Hotkey it, my bad. But I'll still get it anyways. Let me go ahead and save it. Yeah, it's not the way. Is it? Oh, it is. Never mind. Go ahead and use that implant GRX now. If I can find it. There it is. Need some of this and more GRX. This is ridiculous. He's out healing me. Let's check. Gotta go west. Yeah, this way. Nice, got some homies here. Oh, ghetto blasted.
We warned you at Syracuse, and you persisted. You took advantage of us at New Canaan to drive us out. And like the dogs of Caesar you are, you followed us to Zion. And now you stand on holy ground, a temple to God's glory on earth. The only use for an animal in our temple is sacrifice. Kale wachene conserva o. You understand me, don't you? Don't you?
Outman. Kunaman mad. He killed all Whitelegs. You talk. You stop!
So I got a chance to either spare the dude or outright kill him. Huh. Also, what's with the courier having cold feet? Like, what does this mean? This isn't what I signed up for. Doesn't even give me a, like, I don't understand why there's no option to just let Joshua Graham just JFK him in the back of the head like that. Ugh.
You can no ni kumpa me. They are you.
That's it. Take it.
Oops.
The same end he would have met if he had died on his knees. But I suppose this was for the sake of the dead horses and sorrows. Still, thanks to your help and the grace of God, the Whitelegs won't be troubling Zion anymore. Let's go find Daniel. Tomorrow we'll be here soon enough. And there is much to do.
Man, he literally is burning. I wasn't even trying to make that happen. He literally just... he's just burning. Let's see. To be honest, I have so few skills now. I'll increase to dump skill points into. I might as well just max this out. What was this? I already have the implant GRX perk, so there's no point in me increasing science more, especially since I have robotics expert as well. Speech, on the other hand, I will have to max out, but I don't remember if I grabbed all the skill books. I don't think I did. I did that for barter, but not speech. So I'm gonna leave those like that. The other thing I would increase would probably be sneak, and that's probably it. Sneak, and then I guess one of these other combat skills. We'll see.
And so it was that the conflict between the New Canaanites and the Whitelegs was finally resolved. The courier's involvement had tipped the scale, shifting the fragile balance of power.
Despite their defeat at Three Marys and the death of their war chief, the Whitelegs were determined to pursue the other New Canaanites. But when they finally tracked down their prey in Colorado, they discovered the tables had been turned. The Whitelegs who survived the New Canaanites' ambushes were hunted down by dead horses before they could reach the safety of the Great Salt Lake. When word of the Whitelegs' diminished numbers reached the Hades tribe, war was declared. And by year's end, the Whitelegs had been wiped out.
The Sorrows fought beside Joshua Graham and the Dead Horses, eradicating the threat the White Legs posed to Zion. When the Courier and Joshua Graham felled Salt Upon Wounds, their victory was celebrated with a great feast. The Sorrows' transformation from a peaceful, timid tribe into a proud and warlike people broke Daniel's heart. He tried to take solace in the knowledge that they would remain in Zion, but it was a small comfort. The Sorrows' innocence was lost.
Having helped eradicate the White Legs from Zion, the Dead Horses returned to Dead Horse Point in triumph. They remained neutral toward the Sorrows, but as years went on, there were periods of competitive friction, even violence between the tribes. The new Canaanites, Daniel especially, intervened regularly as mediators, but found it difficult to reconcile the tribes' conflicts.
The defeat of the White Legs in Zion marked a turning point in the fortunes of the Happy Trails Caravan Company. Every 2 months, the caravan met with the new Canaanites in Zion Valley to trade. Happy Trails soon returned to prosperity. The vigilance of the Sorrows and Dead Horses in defending southwestern Utah, initially startling to Happy Trails caravans, soon proved a blessing. The tribes united against the 80s, driving them back from Highway 50, and thus opening yet another trading route for Happy Trails caravans.
Follows Chuck took the courier's words to heart and decided that he would behold the sights and sounds of distant lands with his own eyes and ears. After returning to Dead Horse Point, he quarreled with his family and other tribe members about his ambitions. One morning, they awoke to discover that Follows Chuck had set off alone, westward, into the wilderness. He was never seen again.
Waking Cloud was distraught when she learned of her husband's death, but took comfort from her tribe and the compassion of the new Canaanites. She forgave Daniel for having concealed her husband's fate from her, and learned to accept his fate. When her grief faded, she took a husband from the Dead Horse tribe. At her bidding, he stayed close to home.
Though the courier had stopped Joshua Graham from executing Salt Upon Wounds, the war chief still fell in battle. The White Legs defeated at Three Marys. Joshua led the Sorrows and Dead Horses in tending to their comrades and burning the corpses of their foes. He continued to advocate militant opposition to the enemies of New Canaan and showed little quarter to those he fought. And yet he was changed. He no longer reveled in the brutality and cruelty for which he had been known in his former life. His inner demons, if not extinguished, were at the least appeased.
For years after the defeat of the White Legs, Daniel did his best to minister to the Sorrows' spiritual needs. Try as he might, he could not hold back the tribe's increasing militancy and reverence of Joshua Graham. Demoralized, he returned to his family and Dead Horse Point. His failures haunted him for the rest of his days.
And with that, the courier walked out of the history of the tribes of Zion and back to the gathering storm of the Mojave Wasteland.
Yeah, there's only one quest left, and that's to leave Zion. It makes sense that the Sorrows and the Dead Horses would have a hard time getting along with each other, just because one of the purposes of war is to obtain resources, and unfortunately, when it comes to the expansion of nations, in this case tribal nations, the Sorrows and the Dead Horses would eventually try to take everything Zion would have to offer, and maybe even expand outward, take even more territory, resources, and so on. I do wonder, though, what happened to Falls Chalk. I just hope that he didn't die. Horrible death or something. But yep. That's it. And I got 4,000 XP for completing that quest. Let me add up the amount according to the wiki. It says variable XP. True. But I got 4,000 XP for completing the quest. How much would the others give me? And it doesn't even say. Nice. Very nice indeed. Okay, so I would literally have to replay. Or not replay, but rather play through the other point. Okay. Well, I leveled up twice. I know that for a fact. So let's go back and find out. Yeah, I already made a separate save file. And hopefully this isn't going to take too long, because I definitely need to end the stream soon.
I'm glad to see you're still with us. I appreciate it. That's it. Don't... It may be. I hope it is. To tell the truth, if something goes wrong, more Sorrows could die in the escape than in Joshua's proposed attack. Even knowing that, it's a risk I have to take. With your help and Joshua's, even if we're attacked, we can defend the Sorrows and escape. We'll be traveling at night in small groups, across the valley. With luck, the Whitelegs won't know what's happened until the next morning. But if the Whitelegs realize what's happening, Joshua and I will need you to help us escape. Don't hold back. I promise you, the Whitelegs won't. Once our path is clear, I'll give you everything you need to get back to the Mojave. But the Pine Creek Tunnel must be collapsed behind us. It's the only way to delay the Whitelegs' pursuit long enough for us to get a head start. Good luck, and may God be with us.
Joshua Graham is still going to help.
Daniel must have made it to the tunnel by now. But there are Sorrows all over the valley. We have to help them and get Daniel out of here. Right.
Alright, let's go. And let me quick save. Oh. Get everything ready. Sheep embrace. Let's do. Oops. race is going to be going. 5. There we go. Regardless of the total amount of XP, that doesn't really matter. It matters more how many times I level up through completing this last quest line. I understand why the wiki says variable XP, because technically speaking, depending on how many enemies the player kills, that changes how much XP, total XP they would get, but still, I mean. I don't know what flew across my head, or past my head rather, but that's kind of funny. It's 350. Should also be taking buff out. I think if the player consumes all of the implant GRX charges, they stack over each other. While they won't increase the duration, the turbo effect, they definitely will make it so that the player doesn't have to activate each single one through the Pip-Boy, like I did earlier. Oh, nice. That's the kind of secret you would find in an old school FPS game. Is there any way to get up there? Not through that way, apparently. But I have to go through it. Yeah, through this way. I don't mind this stream being 2 hours long as it doesn't go past that. And it shouldn't. Even if it crashes several times, it shouldn't crash so much to the point that I can't finish this last quest for then. Come on.
Yes.
Okay. I think it's not letting me grab it. There we go. Let's see, is there any way to get up there? I could probably jump over there, actually. Ooh, yes, I did it. Nice. That's another 350, so that's 700. Okay. It's northwest, though. Okay. Joshua Graham descending from the heavens. By the way, I've been debating on whether or not I want to do a bite-size video series of edited clips of this playthrough. This playthrough is a lot longer than even I expected. And on top of that, it's the longest playthrough of a game while I've streamed it anyways. I've ever done. The most number of streams on one particular game. The thing is though, the video quality and probably the majority of the streams so far have been not very good. And on top of that, there's going to be a lot of parts of many streams, grand majority of the time, and most of the streams is just going to be me not saying anything, nothing interesting going on. So trying to do a bite-sized series of each stream is not going to be doable. Or rather, okay, that's not true. It's going to be doable, it just won't be reasonable. There won't be a whole lot of content worth going over and over again. I would have to basically cut out a lot of footage of me just walking around, going to place, buying and selling my items, and doing other monotonous stuff. It just wouldn't make any sense for me to leave that stuff in. I don't even know how I would make that exciting to watch or funny to watch, even through editing. I kind of did it in my Sonic Adventure 2 streams, with my Sonic Adventure 2 bite-sized series. And what I have been doing anyways is, hold on 1 second. What? Anyways, what I did was, all I did was just fast forward, just speed up the footage of those boring parts where I'm not saying anything or doing anything interesting. Nothing's really going on. But if I tried doing that with the New Vegas streams, that's pretty much the majority of all the streams. All of them, 450. So that's 1150 XP so far. That's not very promising. Both an enjoyable, that doesn't sound very enjoyable to edit through, and on top of that, doesn't seem likely to be all that fun to watch anyways, even through editing. I might do what some other New Vegas content creators do, or just Fallout content creators in general, and just skip through all those boring parts. And that's fine, that's the easiest solution, simplest solution. I may just do that instead. Why that key? Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. But if I do that, it's still gonna be a very lengthy process of me going through hours of streams, just literally looking at snippets of something interesting happening, or funny, or something worth watching. And don't get me wrong, I'd be willing to do that, but I'm just not sure if I should. That should be the last side quest. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So 1150 XP so far, and I can't fast travel for some reason. But yeah, southeast. What's funny too is that I don't really think think it's worth me doing something like that, or even finishing the Sonic Adventure 2 bite-sized series, just because no one really watches my YouTube videos in the first place. While that doesn't bother me, right? I mean, obviously I've proven that I can do something even if I'm not getting anything out of it, such as streaming right now. I mean, I got 2 followers, so that's not completely true, right? Not to diminish that, but the grand majority of the time I was going through this playthrough, no one was watching my streams, but yet I just enjoyed streaming nonetheless. But if I'm not enjoying the process of editing videos, then what's the point, right? You know, thankfully, for the Sonic Adventure 2 streams, I do enjoy editing those streams because they're pretty short anyways. And I'm still in the process of learning how to edit videos. But with New Vegas, I don't know. I mean, I've heard many YouTubers complain about the process of editing being really, I wouldn't say exhaustive, but definitely not very fun when it comes to going through so much footage. And especially for those YouTubers who consistently upload on a schedule, either weekly or bi-weekly. That's not gonna happen. I can't be bothered to work on a deadline. I mean, when it comes to streaming, I don't see streaming every day as a deadline. I think of it as a habit I'm trying to form, a habit I'm trying to maintain. And eventually, it will transition from a habit to a lifestyle. The same way, working out goes from being a thing that you do, it goes from being a hobby to your lifestyle. Man, I hope this quick save has not corrupted. Otherwise, okay, we're good. But yeah, I mean, if I try to do New Vegas bite-sized series and I'm not enjoying the process of editing all those streams, all that footage, I'm not going to bother going through with it and finishing the series. I'm kind of like that with the Sonic Adventure 2 streams, but that's just because I haven't really been trying to edit videos lately. I've been so preoccupied learning to do other stuff. Coding, learning to be a handyman. Learn to be a handyman. I'm in the process of getting my driver's license, so I'm preparing for the road test. What else? Learning OBS, because I didn't set up the alerts properly, or not at all, in fact, until recently. And so on and so forth. I'm also learning how to do certain workouts I've never done before. and so on. It's just a lot of stuff that's preoccupying my time right now. And it doesn't help either that when I'm bodybuilding the way I am right now, and I'm getting really old anyways, it's so difficult to not pass out from exhaustion once I get home from work and being at the gym that I just straight up, like literally earlier today before the stream, I just slept for 3 hours straight, or 2.5. It's so hard to not have that happen, even with all the caffeine I can put into my body. But I try not to complain about that stuff anymore because it's not something that's going to change anytime soon. I gotta get up on that bridge. Especially since, as I said, this is a lifestyle. This is just my life now. That's not going to change because my life is not going to change all that much anytime soon. And I forgot where I was going with this. Alright, I was just trying to explain why, yeah, I might not do a New Vegas bite-sized series. My point is that if I don't enjoy making a New Vegas bite-sized series, I won't go through with it. That's why I'm not promising to do it right now, or at all. Because I just might not care for it enough to do so. Okay, that's the last of that ammo. And thump.
Finished. Now.
I think I will talk about my analytics and a future stream or something between all the social media platforms I use. But I'll just go ahead and just get the TLDR version of YouTube. YouTube, I basically don't really have anyone watching my videos. And I may even be shadow banned on YouTube, because otherwise I don't see why I'm not getting any views whatsoever, even through the New Vegas VODs I upload onto my channel. So maybe I'm shadow banned, maybe not. I'm not sure. I was gonna do something and I completely forgot what it was. Oh right, I was going to like to see, yeah, I don't have any food there. But I'm not about to deal with that, just because I am treating my YouTube channel more as an archive than anything else. Especially since I want to take streaming more seriously. I've said it before anyways that I just want to focus on streaming because that's just better content. Well, no, I won't say that. It's what people want to watch nowadays. And on top of that, it's way easier to make. It's way easier to stream rather than to make videos or make drawings, animations, and so on. And that guy got jumped. That's how we do in the hood. Also, that's off center. There we go. The popularity is not something I care about anymore. So I will admit, I did want to make it big, like anyone, like everyone.
You best white legs, you think. By my spear, you die!
I mean, I could, but honestly, I just want to kill him.
Ha! Yes! End!
I could convince him not to fight, but that's not fun to watch. This guy is tough though, he has a lot of health.
Please, have you done everything you can for the Sorrows? Are they all accounted for?
Yes, I've done all the side quests.
You've done more than I could have ever hoped for. Thank you. And may God protect you for all of your days. Goodbye.
In this game. $2,900.
And so it was that the conflict between the New Canaanites and the Whitelegs was finally resolved. The courier's involvement had tipped the scale.
Yeah, that's 4,050 XP. So literally, it's just a 50 XP difference.
Sorrows from Zion. They celebrated by destroying all traces of the valley's former inhabitants. They appealed to the Legion for assimilation, but were denied. Their failure to eradicate the New Canaanites in Grand Staircase and farther up the Colorado had not gone unnoticed. The Whitelegs made a half-hearted effort to find the New Canaanites, but were driven off by dead horses trained in the ways of Joshua Graham. The Whitelegs lost all hope of joining the Legion and disintegrated into a number of petty raiding bands, leaving Zion Valley a polluted cistern.
Daniel succeeded in leading the Sorrows out of Zion, as he had wanted to do from the start. The courier protected the Sorrows during the evacuation, ensuring that most reached their destination unharmed. Over the weeks and months to come, Daniel would see to the Sorrows' resettlement in Grand Staircase. Their adjustment to their new home was not without difficulty, but eventually, the Sorrows came to accept the loss of Zion.
Having helped Daniel and the Sorrows escape from Zion, the Dead Horses returned to their home at Dead Horse Point. The tribe continued to learn from the New Canaanites, and over many years built a flourishing community along the banks of the Colorado. Though the tribe's bond would endure, it was Joshua Graham's legend the Dead Horses would revere, not the tenets of New Canaan's faith.
Already weakened by several seasons of bad trading, the Happy Trails Caravan Company was initially discouraged by the results of its expedition. The fate of New Canaan and the evacuation of the Sorrows from Zion made the prospect of trading seem fruitless. When Daniel told his family about the exploits of Happy Trails employee the Courier, however, New Canaan decided to repay the company's kindness. Twice per year, New Canaanites made the dangerous journey west to trade with a company in the city of New Reno. The Happy Trails Caravan Company could not survive on such trading alone, but the New Canaanites' generosity made tough times go easier.
Follows Chuck took the courier's words to heart and decided that he would behold the sights and sounds of distant lands with his own eyes and ears. After returning to Dead Horse Point, he quarreled with his family and other tribe members about his ambitions. One morning, they awoke to discover that Follows Chuck had set off alone, westward, into the wilderness. He was never seen again.
Waking Cloud was distraught when she learned of her husband's death, but took comfort from her tribe and the compassion of the New Canaanites. She forgave Daniel for having concealed her husband's fate from her, and learned to accept his fate. When her grief faded, she took a husband from the Dead Horse tribe. At her bidding, he stayed close to home.
After leading the Sorrows from their home in Zion to safety in Grand Staircase, Daniel continued to wonder if he'd made the right choice. He spent his life evangelizing the beliefs of his people to a new generation of young men and women, as his ancestors had for centuries before him. He was happy with his family, but for the rest of his life, there were nights when he awoke with sadness to find he had been dreaming of Zion.
And with that, the courier walked out of the history of the tribes of Zion and back to the gathering storm of the Mojave Wasteland.
It doesn't even say what happened to Joshua Graham. Yeah, it didn't even mention Joshua Graham, unless I wasn't paying attention. I'll check back in the VOD, but I'm pretty sure straight up it didn't even mention what happened to Joshua Graham afterwards with this route. But yeah, quite literally, it's just a 50 XP difference. You still get 4,000 XP as long as the player completes the optional side quests and Flight from Zion, or Flight of Zion. However, that involves traveling across Zion at least like twice, maybe 3 times. So it just depends on whether the player wants to travel that much distance. And there's not all that much fighting, of course, compared to helping Joshua Graham exterminate, as he says, the White Legs. It's weird, really, because without it explaining what Joshua Graham thinks of the Sorrows living in a new home, I'm not sure if he feels like he redeemed himself or not. I mean, maybe he did. I'm not sure. Let me, where is it? But the player still gets all the same items from completing this add-on at the end of it. Where is it? Weird. Why am I over encumbered then? What's going on? That's weird. Oh, that's because the buff out. Yeah, I see. Okay, that's the reason why. All right. Let me just go ahead and pop another one. I'm honestly not sure if I should just continue this ending or not. Technically, I've done both, so I honestly shouldn't care. I may just save over the previous one. We'll see. Buff out. There it is. So yeah, you still get all the items in his footlocker. Same exact items. Regardless of which route you take. But yeah, I'm gonna have to put this on. And the stream's gonna have to end. So yeah, let me go ahead then and save over this stuff. In fact, yeah, let me delete these other ones as well. There we go. I am level 31, if I remember correctly. Yes. So, there's that. But, for the most part, that's going to be it for at least the quest line and the side quests for Honest Hearts. I will be staying in Zion a little bit longer to explore Zion, find the rest of the locations, to get some extra XP, killing whatever gets in my way, and taking with me, or taking as much loot as I can bring back to the Mojave Wasteland as possible. So I'll be doing that next stream though. I'll make sure that the wiki map up so I can make sure I don't miss out on anything. Yeah, that's gonna be it. Yeah, nearly a 2-hour stream, but I'm okay with that, you know, especially when I ended the Honest Hearts add-on quest line. So yeah, but that's gonna have to be it then for today's stream, or rather tonight's. I'm gonna have to finish up with my business in Zion next stream, and then I'll do a little bartering, find whatever skill books I need to get, and then begin Old World Blues. So yeah, but yeah, that's it. Just gonna end the stream now. Peace.